The show you're about to see is performed by highly trained professional athletes. The moves and actions that take place are incredibly dangerous when not performed by skilled professionals. Please do not attempt to try and do any of what you see in this program at home.
Capacity crowd is on hand at the Liverpool Olympia for the season finale of British Wrestling Weekly, where one man is about to guarantee himself a spot in the second Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup. In recent weeks, we've seen Robbie X take on Rampage Brown in a qualifier and Screwface take on Liverpool's #1, Zack Gibson. This week, Gibson and Brown renew their rivalry in the finals, but only one of them can guarantee themselves a spot in that prestigious tournament. Plus, we show you what happened after we went off air last week with Nathan Cruz and Joseph Connors locked in battle. If Connors won, he would get Cruz's rematch against Matt Myers, but if Cruz won, Connors' career in NGW would be over. Let's show you what happened last week.
And Marla Beck really had it in his mind that the penultimate episode and the final episode of this season of British Wrestling Weekly would be spectacular. And you don't get much more spectacular than the first time ever contest between Joseph Connors and Nathan Cruz, and of course the finals of that tournament between Rampage Brown and Zack Gibson.
Listen to this crowd in Liverpool trying to will Nathan Cruz back to his feet as Connors tries to drive the energy out of Cruz's body, cutting off the circulation.
But Lilith continues to watch under. She is freaking me out, and I'm not even at ringside.
She's something else, is Lilith. I'm not even sure what to make of her.
Straight to the hair goes Connors. Referee Adam J still made the count despite that hair pull. And we've spoken before about Marla Beck's desire to enhance the rule structure in New Generation Wrestling, and we are promised that next season that's exactly what he's going to begin to do.
I think Marla Beck's had an incredible start to his tenure as executive producer here, not least what he's done this week when Connors tried to manipulate him. Levesque really turned the tables on Connors and put his career on the line. I think that is a bold decision.
And what different place would NGW be without Joseph Connors in it? I mean, that's an interesting conundrum, but also, what world would it be if Joe Connors goes on to beat Nathan Cruz and then Matt Myers and becomes the NGW champion? It doesn't even bear thinking.
Cruz finds a way out. Cruz is going to have a couple of seconds to regain his composure here. Connors charges at him, and Cruz sends it to the outside.
And Dave, we are getting dangerously close to the end of our TV time. We have got just minutes left.
Well, we may not need too much longer because Connors is in danger of being counted out here. If he can't get back in the ring and answer this 10 count, Alex, then his career in NGW is done. Cruz pulling himself up to his feet using the ropes. Connors is now back in. Cruz moves out of the way.
Quick as a cat is the show stealer. Charges and head into the buckle of the Righteous One. And now Cruz scales to the top.
Cruz off the top. Crossbody from the show stealer. Nathan Cruz feeling the energy of the crowd here in Liverpool.
And he is back in the race. Look at this slingshot off the top. Belly to back suplex in the center of the ring.
Cruz's lower back hurting. He took a second to get to the pin there, and that extra second may be what allowed Connors to get out.
Dave, we are almost out of time. I'm being told that if this match doesn't conclude in the next 60 seconds, we will bring you what happened at the beginning of next week's program.
Well, what a cliffhanger that would be if we don't get a winner here, because Cruz is firing up here. Connors' career in NGW could be coming to an end. Connors lands on his feet behind Cruz. Now it's Cruz will go behind. Got the shoulders down. Oh, his body weight on top of Connors, and he only got two again.
Oh, and it looks like Cruz knows that we're going off there, because look at the desperation of Nathan Cruz to put Connors away. Here's the ropes and a huge kick.
Connors may be unconscious. Connors may be unconscious.
Oh, could this be it?
The cover to end Joseph Connors' career. No. Alex, we're out of time here. We're going to have to bring the conclusion of this match to next week's show, our season finale, which also features the finals of that Davey Boy Smith qualifying tournament. Gibson, Rampage Brown, next week here on British Wrestling Weekly.
Well, Dave, we are officially off air now, so if you're listening to this, it's happening on next week's programme, but in the arena, this one carries on.
And Cruz is lining up Connors, perhaps to finish this with the show stolen. Got Connors on his shoulders. Connors fights his way out. Cruz on double foot stomp from Connors.
Huge clothesline there.
Yeah, big clothesline. Connors is fighting, of course, for his career here. He's got both the legs hooked. Cruz gets out on two.
And the stakes could not be higher. Connors knows it. Cruz knows it. And so does this huge crowd in Liverpool. Dave, could you imagine a world where Joseph Connors was no longer in NGW, or a world where he was NGW champion? It's unthinkable.
Well, I know which one of those two I would prefer, but Connors, meanwhile, I saw looking over to Lilith there, looking for some advice, I think, on how he can finally put the show stealer away. Cruz, of course, one of the most tenacious competitors anywhere in British wrestling. But how long can he last against this onslaught from Connors?
Looks like he's going for a pile driver or something here. Oh no, maybe it's that powerbomb into the corner.
Cruz wriggled out, and Cruz, Connors counters, counter after counter, both of these guys. Cruz rolls him up. Cruz rolls him up and gets two. Only two. And Cruz dropped Connors. This time, Connors is out. No. Goodness me, how close were those two near falls for Nathan Cruz?
This crowd coming out of their seats, they can't believe it. And look at Lilith, that's the first time I've seen her move, because for the majority of this match so far, she has stared a hole straight through the show stealer. But in that brief moment, she moved and she looked somewhat anxious. It's the first time I've ever seen that emotion emanate from Lilith.
It's very rare to see any emotion coming from the face of Lilith, but you're right, there was something there. She knows that Joseph Connors has put it all on the line here against Cruz, and his career could be ebbing away in front of her very eyes.
And he's going for that show stolen. Oh, he's up on the shoulders.
Lilith on the apron. Referee is distracted. Wait a second.
Oh, it's a Screwface.
The Screwface of a chain. Oh, no, come on.
Oh, Dave, and this crowd is so deafening trying to tell referee Adam J to turn round that they've actually masked the noise of that chain. Oh, not like this.
Cruz is unconscious.
Oh, my God.
Cruz is unconscious, for goodness sake.
Oh, he's going to do it.
No, not like this. Yes. Nathan kicked out.
Wow.
Screwface can't believe it.
And Adam J's now seen Screwface and he's furious. Oh, but Connors has got that chain.
Again, the referee distracted. Connors looking to finish this off and to steal, I do mean steal, Cruz's title rematch. Cruz ducked. Cruz with the kick to the midsection. And Cruz hits Connors. with the chain.
And Adam J's seen none of it. And he's probably heard none of it, Dave. I can hardly hear myself think.
Well, Cruz is in the ring on his own now as Connors and Screwface on the outside. Here comes the show stealer. And that will neutralise Screwface, but it's taken Connors out as well.
And when this is potentially your last match in NGW, you have nothing to lose. And you've got to believe that Joseph Connors instructed Screwface at some point, if the end looks near, come out with that chain, and that's exactly what happened. And look at Lilith, moving over to... I thought she was moving over to Cruz there.
Yeah, Lilith is trying to get Connors stirred, and now what?
Oh, what the...
What is she doing?
She just... Oh, Dave! What?
A count? Oh, no, referee's called for the... Don't tell me that's a count out. What? Don't tell me that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match by count out, Joseph Connors!
Connors is going to get the shot against Matt Myers.
Well, Joseph Connors' career at NGW continues, thanks in large part to Lilith. You're right, Cruz looked into the eyes of Lilith, and for just a moment there, Nathan Cruz didn't seem to know where he was. Bizarre developments here in the Liverpool Olympia, as Nathan Cruz has lost his rematch for the undisputed title to Joseph Connors.
All NGW wrestlers are highly trained professional athletes. Please do not attempt anything that you see in this show at home. All NGW wrestlers are highly trained professional athletes. Please do not attempt anything that you see in this show at home.
Welcome back to Liverpool, where our main event sees the renewal of a rivalry between Zach Gibson and Rampage Brown that has stretched back through multiple seasons of this program. It is a rivalry that was renewed last season thanks to Gibson's desire to defend the Davey Boy Smith Cup that he won. Now let's take you back to see how this all began.
Well, the Davey Boy Smith Cup, I mean, when it was announced, there was a lot of buzz about it, but people didn't really know which way it was going to go. People didn't know if it was going to flop, if it was going to be a success, if it was going to go this way or that way, but obviously all of the critics were all silenced when the tournament was all done, when the tournament aired. I think it made a lot of new fans for British wrestling, it made a lot of new fans for NGW, and I know it made a lot of new fans for me. The Davey Boy Cup exploded into something far beyond what we ever thought it would be, and it put a lot of guys, including myself, on the map, took us to that next level. So then I see the announcements coming up, they're going to bring it back, they're going to do tournament number 2, and I got excited, I got goosebumps, sat at home. I rang up my dad and I told him that we're doing the tournament again, and I'm going to be the first name to get announced. I messaged all the guys in the back, I messaged the promoters, I messaged everyone, and I said, I need to be in this tournament. And then they told me, that's not how it's going to work this time, and it just didn't sit right. I told them, like, please, this is something that I need to be a part of, this is something that I've got a real passion for, and they told me that's not how we're going to do it. The winner cannot be in the second tournament. So that's something that is still bothering me, still keeping me awake at night. But then they said, we'll give you the opportunity to test out the new guys that are going to come in. And I said, well, that suits me down to a T. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Anyone that wants to go into this tournament, anyone that wants to follow what I began and become the second time Davey Boy Cup winner, well, they're going to have to go through me. They need to know that this tournament is no walk in the park, and this tournament is no fancy little one-off gimmick, some special little extra bit that we're going to do on the program. This is something important. This is something that I believe in, and they're going to learn that the hard way. When they get in there, if they're thinking this is going to be a stroll, they're going to quickly change their mind when I'm smacking them in the face, dropping them on the deck, wrapping their arm around their head and locking the Shankly gates.
Dunn is enjoying the beating he is laying down on this young man, this young star from Liverpool.
And if this is any indication of the calibre of British professional wrestling we're going to see in this year's Davey Boy Smith Cup, then I think we're in for a hell of a ride.
Elbows into the ribs by Dunn, and now into abdominal stretch maybe, no.
There's a pub handle there, and
Gibson giving Dunn a taste of his own medicine. Referee has a count of Gibson now, forearm to the face.
My Lord.
Heard that from here, wow. Gibson, another uppercut, another enziguri from Dunn. How much can these two men take? That's got to be all.
Inside out, Dave. He turned Pete Dunn inside out, and Gibson feels it. This crowd feels it. Are we going to see?
Gibson turns him over, cover. He's got 2 this time. Has he got 3 again? Dunn again gets that left shoulder
I
up.
thought he was going for the... Oh, no, he's doing it now. I thought he was going to go for that Shankly gate straight away. but now he's got it centre of the ring.
Yeah, it's locked in. It's locked in. Dunn is right in the middle, way away from the rotating
attacks. Wow.
Gibson wins.
What a match.
If you join Team Control, and when we win, and we will win with you on board, and Rampage Brown walks out the Undisputed Champion, you will have the very first Undisputed title shot against Rampage Brown.
What? Talk about exploiting your power as managing director.
You've got the contract, Zach. All you have to do at the end of the night, when we've won, is sign that contract.
Rampage Brown. Oh, the power driver. Oh, no.
That's all. That is all. Linsky didn't see the tag.
Hang on, yeah, Linsky was down in the corner, and I don't think he saw. He didn't see it, did he?
Not Rampage is furious. There was a tag. But Linsky, look at this.
But he can't call what he doesn't see. Linsky did not see that tag from Gibson.
Oh, God, it's breaking down with Gibson and Brown. The animosity between these two.
Nate Myers is gone.
He's going for it. Oh, no! Oh, wow!
Gibson just attacked Rampage Brown.
Oh, my. He's got that contract. Remember, Gibson has been offered the first shot against Brown. If Brown wins, and...
Oh, my word! Zach Gibson ripping up Richie West's contract.
Oh. That is a bad move by Richie West. Look. Oh!
He went for a second time. Gibson, Shankly Gates on Richie West.
And listen to this crowd, Dave. Oh!
Look at it locked in. Look at the agony etched across the face of Richie West.
I did NGW a favour. I'm the guy responsible for eliminating the Control, eliminating their biggest threat, and eliminating their biggest pain. The Control are no more, and that is not down to Matt Myers, and that is not down to Nathan Cruz. That's down to me. That's down to my actions when I came off the second rope, gave Rampage Brown a ticket to ride. That's my doing. I didn't do it for the show stealer, and I didn't do it for amazing Matt. I didn't do it for anyone. I think you can tell by looking at me that I stopped caring what people think about me a long time ago. I did what I did for me. I did NGW a favour, and now it's their turn to do me a favour. Put me in the Davey Boy Smith tournament where I belong. Let me show the country and let me show the world that I am the best wrestler in this country, around the globe. I'm the guy that should be the face of pro wrestling, and I'm the guy that should be the face of the Davey Boy Smith tournament.
And don't forget that under that patch is a steel hook that supports this ring.
Gibson Kane charging Rampage, blown a double clothesline, both men down. What a battle!
This is unlike anything I've seen, Dave, in NGW. Gibson warned us, and the referee's at a count of 5, and...
We're up to 6 referees counting both men out. I'm not sure either of them's got anything left. We're up to 8.
No way.
And neither of them made it. And we're gonna have this is gonna be a draw. I think this is a draw.
Evie Aaron's asking for clarification.
Both men counted
Ladies
out.
and gentlemen, the referee's decision. Both men failed to beat the 10 count. Therefore, this is a double count-out.
Wow. What does Mark Lebet do in terms of his recommendations to the Hart-Smith family about the Davey Boy Smith Cup?
With the situation regarding Zach Gibson and the Davey Boy Smith Cup becoming an increasing bone of contention between Zach, NGW fans and myself, I'm aware of Mr. Gibson's desire to enter the tournament. While I do feel that Mr. Gibson has a fair argument for his inclusion after winning the first cup, there is a serious problem. I cannot or will not give in to demands by NGW wrestlers and change the course of such an important event simply due to Zach's demands. While I'm in charge, you get what you earn, not just what you want. However, in the face of what we've seen recently, I've come to a decision, and it is, in many ways, a compromise. The Smith and Hart family have agreed to my request that NGW will now run a 4-man knockout tournament, the winner of which will earn a guaranteed entry into the historic Davey Boy Smith Cup 2. Zach Gibson, as the previous winner, will get the first slot. And in the interest of fairness and balance, slot number 2 will go to Rampage Brown, while the Smith and Hart family will select the other 2 men from the current NGW talent pool based on their recent in-ring performances. Mr. Gibson, while I appreciate your wayward words, the only way to truly get my attention in NGW is to win. Now that you have the opportunity you wanted, I suggest you don't waste it.
Well, the moment of that opportunity has arrived, not only for Liverpool's number 1, but for his arch rival as well. Coming up next, Rampage Brown versus Zach Gibson. The winner guaranteed a spot in the second Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup. It's the main event on the season finale of NGW British Wrestling Weekly, and it's next.
NGW wrestlers are highly trained professional athletes. Please do not attempt anything that you see in this show at home. All NGW wrestlers are highly trained professional athletes. Please do not attempt anything that you see in this show at home.
High stakes here in the Liverpool Olympia as we are about to find out the identity of the first man guaranteed a place in the second Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup. Dave Bradshaw here alongside former British heavyweight champion Alex Shane. And Alex, we have seen Rampage Brown and Zach Gibson stand across the ring from each other so many times, but on very few occasions has there been as much at stake as there will be right here.
Well, when Mark Levesque threw down the gauntlet to Zach Gibson and told him that if he wanted a place in the Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup, he had to be back in New Generation Wrestling, and he had the match against Rampage Brown laid out for him, Zach Gibson said that that wasn't going to be a wrestling match, it was going to be a war, and that's exactly what happened with our first ever double knockout on this program. But Gibson just cannot afford a double knockout. He's going to need to use superior wrestling and superior strategy if he wants a spot in the Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup number 2.
How on earth, if you're Zach Gibson, do you defeat a man who knows you as well as you know yourself? That is the challenge facing Liverpool's number 1 in his home city right now.
And are you ready for the ovation and for the roof to come off the Liverpool Olympia when Liverpool's favourite British wrestling son walks through the entranceway for his spot at Destiny? Here comes Zach Gibson.
Here he is, the man who won the first ever Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup. And what a statement it would make, Alex, to the entire wrestling universe if Gibson could not only enter that cup a second time, but win it. What would that say to everyone watching, not only the Hart Smith family over in Canada, but wrestling fans all around the world.
Well, it's ironic because Mark Lebet, one of the things he's very keen to do in NGW is to reintroduce a stronger selection of rules for pro wrestling. Many say rules are meant to be broken. That's exactly what Zack Gibson believes. But the Smith and Hart family laid down the rules for this second tournament, and in essence, Gibson, through his sheer force of will, has forced those rules to be changed, which is what's led us to this four-man knockout tournament final.
Well, it is game time. Let's take it over to our ring announcer, Ryan Devlin, for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your main event of the evening. That is the final of the Knockout Tournament. The winner of this match will gain a guaranteed entry in the prestigious Davey Boy Smith Cup. When the bell rings, the man in charge, Mr. Adam J. Introducing first, to my right, he comes just like from Leeds. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rampage Brown.
Quite simply, one of the most dangerous heavyweights in British wrestling, and in many ways, one of the hardest obstacles that Gibson could have had to face.
And introducing his opponent to my left, weighing in at 235 pounds, he is Liverpool's #1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zack Gibson.
The hometown hero who walks into the exact building where he won the Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup in the first place. He's hoping for lightning to strike twice, but Dave, I'm unsure if he can do it against Rampage Brown. This guy's a monster.
Really nothing to tell between these two men. With them having competed so many times, as I said, they know each other so well. So equally matched in so many ways. You see that collar and elbow tie-up to start things off. Rampage backs Gibson into the corner. And surprisingly, we get something of a clean break there.
And you know, if you think back to the first Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup, it was a round-robin tournament. Gibson drew with Nathan Cruz and he beat Wild Boar Mike Hitchman and Bubblegum in the finals. But you compare, oh look at that slap to the face, you compare those men to Brown, this is a whole different ballgame.
So Rampage Brown roaring at Gibson, something that would intimidate so many of his opponents, but Zack Gibson is just a man who knows no fear. And so Rampage doesn't have that advantage that he has against so many of his opponents.
There's very few men in British wrestling that are as explosive as Rampage Brown. But if I had to name a few, maybe Nathan Cruz and definitely Zack Gibson, the man that he faces here. And oh, there he is.
There's that explosive power that you were talking about as Gibson with the forearms backs Rampage Brown into the corner. Brown sent hard into the other side and Gibson applying a front face, or maybe he's going to go for a suplex and nails it. Gibson floats over into the cover, only gets one.
Gibson will be looking for a variation of that. It's the twisting brainbuster and the Shankly Gate submission. Two moves that he's been very successful with. Alongside that, there is also what he calls a ticket to ride. It's that diving knee off the second rope. Rampage Brown will be looking for the Samoan drop and that devastating pile driver. And these go straight to the outside.
Rampage Brown so comfortable brawling on the outside, but Gibson won't mind that either, as you're seeing here. And it's got to be an advantage, Alex, as well. I know Rampage Brown will say he doesn't care what the audience thinks of him, but to have such a noisy crowd behind your opponent must on some level be a distraction.
Well, we knew that it was going to be loud and it was going to be packed when Liverpool's #1 enters the Liverpool Olympia for a slot in the Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup, but it's exceeded my expectations. It's raucous in here.
Went for a backdrop, did Rampage, but Gibson was able to counter it. Clothesline from Liverpool's #1. Sends his rival down. Gibson is building up a head of steam here.
Gibson has the height advantage. Rampage Brown, I would argue, has the strength advantage. Stamina, I would say, goes to Gibson, but you can't overlook Rampage Brown's ability to break the rules and feel no shame in doing so.
Brown found a way out there. Sent Gibson face first into the turnbuckle, and then that suplex. Gibson landing on the back of his head, and that's bought Rampage Brown a bit of time.
And when you think back to the first Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup, the first Open Invitational included Mark Andrews before he went to TNA, before he was signed to WWE, and then the second Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup, the Open Invitational, we saw it earlier in this program, was Zach Gibson against Pete Dunne, who we know is setting the world alight in WWE. So the Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup has rapidly become a place to discover stars before the rest of the world, and Gibson wants to win that cup twice.
A real springboard for so many young talents here in British wrestling. Which is, again, is another reason why winning it twice would be such an achievement. But for Rampage Brown, of course, an opportunity just to compete in that cup is what he's after here. And he may be well on course to getting that as he drops the elbow across the throat of Gibson. Just a 1 count.
And look at this headlock from Rampage Brown. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Nobody in pro wrestling anywhere in the world applies a headlock more viciously than Rampage Brown.
So he's got that right shoulder directly above the head of Gibson. That's the leverage he needs to get more and more pressure around the neck, cutting off the circulation to the brain, as Gibson knows he's got to fight out of this or he's going to fade fast.
Gibson, their referee, couldn't see it, but he used a closed fist to get out, and then straight to a European uppercut. Hits the ropes, comes back on Rampage Brown, big elbow, knocks Liverpool's #1 to the outside.
That may, I know it doesn't look like it, but that may be a blessing for Gibson, because if he'd stayed in the ring, he would have been susceptible to a pinfall there.
And that count is on by referee Adam Jay.
Well, Rampage, I don't think even Rampage wants to win this by count out. Such is the ferocity of the rivalry between these two. Yeah, you see Rampage has broken that up by chasing his rival outside the ring.
And remember, only last week Zach Gibson had that incredibly physical contest with Screwface, which we saw also include Joseph Connors. So you've got to ask the question, what is the physical condition of Liverpool's #1 going into this match with Rampage Brown?
Yeah, big win for Gibson over Screwface. Rampage Brown beating Robbie X in his semi-final, this mini tournament. Gibson makes it in, beats the count, but it's out of the frying pan into the fire as there's a flurry of stomps there from Rampage.
And I mean no disrespect to Robbie X when I say this, I think he's one of the best high flyers in British wrestling today, but there's no comparison between Robbie X and Screwface when it comes to who is a harder hitting opponent to have.
Well, we've got to take our last commercial break. Rampage Brown versus Zach Gibson, the main event of our season finale, concludes when we return. Don't go anywhere.
All NGW wrestlers are highly trained professional athletes. Please do not attempt anything that you see in this show at home.
A spot in the second Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup is on the line between arch rivals Rampage Brown and Zach Gibson. And Alex, during the break, Brown has pressed home his advantage.
The punishment that Liverpool's #1 has endured during our commercial, and it continues. Look at Rampage Brown, I mentioned earlier. He's a comfortable attitude, shall I say, when it comes to bending and breaking the rules, and Adam Jay is going to stay firmly fixed on him.
Brown taking the time to taunt this hugely pro-Gibson crowd in Gibson's home city. But this might be a mistake, you know, Alex. I asked earlier whether this crowd would start getting to Rampage, and I wonder whether that is what's starting to happen.
And Rampage there, standing on the fingers of Gibson. And you know, Rampage doesn't like to let it show when he is angry, but you can tell because the onslaught of aggression that emanates from him during a match, rapidly increases. And you could see it there with just standing on the fingers of Gibson.
He's an angry man at the best of times. You don't want to enrage Rampage Brown, a very dangerous thing for this crowd to be doing on behalf of their hero. But Gibson, so tenacious, fighting back. Gibson, you can see with every fibre of his being, needs to be in this Davey Boy Smith Cup.
Huge belly to back suplex there, dropping Gibson right on the back of his head. And not only that match we mentioned earlier with Screwface, but now this contest with Brown has really had an effect.
Brown went for a cover, got two. And Rampage has really slowed this down, trying to wear Zach Gibson down and take the wind out of the sails of this crowd in the process, I think.
And stop the flow of blood to the brain. Remember, the carotid artery is the transportation system for that all-important blood to go to your brain. And slowly but surely, Gibson's going to lose that. I mean, very quickly, you will start to pass out. And you can see what Rampage is doing. Look, he's even covering the nose to stop Gibson breathing.
Yeah, that combination of a lack of oxygen and a lack of blood means, yeah, you're more likely to pass out. It also means you can't really think straight. So even if Gibson gets out of this, he's going to be less likely to develop a coherent strategy against Rampage.
Everything goes. Your equilibrium goes, your cardiovascular conditioning. Gibson needs to get out in the worst way. And it looks like, what's he going to do? Oh, smart move.
Desperation move, though, and how much damage had already been done to Gibson. He's in that hold for a very long time.
Underneath that turnbuckle is a steel hook, and Gibson threw Rampage into it. Takes an elbow and charges again, and a big kick.
Rampage charging twice, both times Gibson had an answer. And there's an answer, a big drop kick from Liverpool's #1.
And possibly for the first time in this contest, the tables have turned, but Gibson is all out of fuel.
He's unable to take advantage, but at the very least, it gives him a chance to get some breath back in that body. Referee has a count on. If neither man can answer the count of 10, this would be another draw between these two. We've seen that before.
And this crowd is screaming. And none of them, including myself, want to see a double knockout. And referee Adam J has stopped the count early.
And Brown got to his feet. Gibson's up there now as well. These two men exchanging blows. Another finely balanced contest between Rampage Brown and Zach Gibson in the main event of our season finale. Shot on clothesline misses. Gibson with the running enziguri. Brown is down in the corner. Gibson lines him up. A back elbow from Rampage Brown.
Rampage up on the second now. That's a big man to fly. Goes for an axe handle. Gibson chops him to the throat.
Yeah, he blocked it.
It wasn't pretty, Dave, but it was effective.
Brown went down. Gibson with a clothesline. Gibson will go for the cover. Gets two. Has he got three? No. Very, very close though for Zach Gibson. A half a second away from a spot in the Davey Boy Smith Cup. He's going for the Shankly Gates.
And Rampage Brown is fighting. Normally Gibson spends the whole match working on that arm, but it looks like desperation. And Brown going to try and muscle his way out, and he does.
There's a great. Oh God! Look at that kick. Look at that kick. You hear that? Boot on skull from Rampage Brown.
Sound like a gunshot. In the Liverpool Olympian, he's going for that pole driver, Dave. Gibson comes out and rolls through.
Into a pin. Rampage's shoulders are down, but only for two.
And Gibson's doing everything he can to keep the big man moving. And Samoa drop right on the ribcage of Liverpool's #1.
Rampage is so exhausted, he hasn't even gone for the cover. Look how long he's taken to make the pin. Now he does. He hooks the leg. Is it enough? No. I think Gibson had time to recover.
And now, that cardiovascular conditioning advantage of Zach Gibson I mentioned earlier is really going to play a factor. It's the reason Rampage Brown tried to restrict the flow of blood and oxygen to Zach Gibson, and now it's starting to be the Achilles heel of Rampage Brown.
Brown, I think, is getting a little bit frustrated by his inability to put Gibson away, and maybe, Alex, he's going to go for that one move that he knows will end this infamy, the pile driver.
Good call, he's going for it, Dave. If he hits this, it's over. I mean over, and Gibson fighting with all he has.
Wow.
Adam J squished, sandwiched in the corner there.
Rampage moves out of the way. Referee nearly got hit there, and now he does. Oh my.
Wow.
Adam J just got nailed there by Rampage Brown.
And Gibson with a kick. but there's no referee. Twisting brainbuster, centre of the ring, Dave.
The referee's down though. Referee's down. You can hurt the leg all you like, Zach, but there's no referee. Adam Jay knocked out by that collision with Rampage. Gibson could have had this one, but for that stroke of bad luck a moment earlier.
Look on the stage! Oh, it's Joseph Connors and Screwface!
Well, I fear Zach Gibson is about to find out that once you get tangled in Joseph Connors' web, it's very hard to get out. Here comes Screwface. Referee still down. Screwface with that boot to the face.
And this, I mean, does Rampage Brown even know this is happening? But that's a difference maker.
I don't think Brown has any idea what's going on. Referee certainly doesn't.
And referee Adam Jay had a 22 stone or 21 stone or however big Rampage Brown is, man, charge at him full force. And now, oh look, Brown's fallen victim to the fact there's no ref.
Rampage Brown going to try and stir this referee. Gibson is completely unconscious thanks to Screwface. Referee is awake. Adam Jay's got two. No. Gibson got out. Gibson got out. Much to the anger of Screwface and Connors. Connors directing Screwface.
Oh, is he doing it? Oh God!
What's he doing? Screwface attacking the referee, and now Connors is in as well.
Connors knows exactly what to do to try and get in somebody's head. He challenged Gibson to forfeit the match for this one in the Davey Boy Smith Cup, and now he's just going to steal it from him because you can't conclude a contest with no referee.
Rampage Brown just watching this happen.
Davey's going for that righteous kill, that DDT. It's Nathan Cruz.
There's Cruz. Cruz is in. Nathan Cruz cutting off Screwface at the pass. Ducking a clothesline from Connors. Nathan Cruz unloading on Joseph Connors. Those right hands.
Dave, it's electric here. And we have descended into absolute chaos in the Liverpool Olympia in the main event of this season finale.
Nathan Cruz just even the score. Connors and Screwface are double teaming him on the stage. But meanwhile in the ring, Zach Gibson is still down and Rampage Brown seems to be, he's looking for something.
Whatever he's looking for, this does not look good because referee Adam Jay, no.
It's a chair, a steel chair. Rampage Brown gonna put the exclamation point on this.
It was in this building and with a chair similar to that Rampage Brown broke the ribs of British wrestling legend Doug Williams.
Brown, the referee's up. Referee's seen him Rampage with the chair. Gibson is a distraction.
Face first into the steel goes Brown.
Rampage Brown is reeling. Gibson sets him up. Twisting brainbuster by Liverpool's number one. The cover, and Zach Gibson is in the second Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup.
Oh my God, he's done it, Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, advancing to the Davey Boy Smith Cup, Liverpool's number one, Zach Gibson.
He dreamed of it and he worked for it for 2 whole seasons. But in his home venue, Liverpool's number one, Zach Gibson, has done the unthinkable, breaking the rules laid out by the Smith and Hart family, and in the process, guaranteeing his spot in the historic second Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup.
What a battle between Rampage Brown and Zach Gibson. And how sweet it must be for Gibson, not only to qualify for this second cup, but to do it at the expense of a man who has been his arch nemesis for so long here in NGW.
Well, in the finale of last season, Gibson helped Team NGW rid New Generation Wrestling of the control. And it's taken him a whole season to get something he wanted, and he's just done it here because he's got a guaranteed slot in that tournament.
Zach Gibson, Liverpool's number one, marches on to the second Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup. For Alex Shane, this is Dave Bradshaw saying